I will wait until some people joins. Okay. Hello, guys. How is the Saturday going? I hope you are all practicing and you are all giving 100% to today. We cannot even miss a day for practicing. We cannot even miss a day, especially if we are preparing an audition, if we are preparing an important recital. Doesn't matter how long, doesn't matter how many days we have for an important event. Time flies and it goes faster than you think. So that's why we have to always have the mind, have the effort, the energy putting into our dreams, into our next important events. To put you an example, guys, this is exactly in the same way I prepared all my auditions in my life, and this is exactly the way I'm teaching my students in order to do exactly the same. In 42 days, as you can see here, it says Watch and Wonders Geneva. It's a luxury event that I have in Switzerland in exactly 42 days. So this means 18 from 18 of April. Here, you most of the people would see the 42 days and they would think, okay, it's in 42 days. I have time, enough time, and they wouldn't do anything. Basically, 1% of the population, 1% of the musicians and people with amazing results that I had the opportunity to meet around my whole career, they would take the 42, as you can see here. It can be an audition, it can be whatever. It can be an important recital, a youth orchestra video recording. It can be literally anything, but an important date, an important goal to work. Have something to look forward to. That's the most important thing. Otherwise, this hunger, this motivation for practicing and for giving 100% is gone. It's gone. So I'm constantly, even though right now I don't need to put myself pressure. I already have a job, and I can just live comfortably like 99% of the people does. But in reality, guys, I'm constantly putting myself into different situations that are more stressful and more stressful and more stressful. Why do I have here Watch and Wonders Geneve uh, in 42 days? Because for me, that's a really important event. It's an event that I have to be really prepared, not only and not musically, not nothing like that, but really prepared in other areas. That's why I have, every time I unlock my phone, there is the 42. Tomorrow is gonna be 41. The day after is gonna be 40, then 39. So with all of these, you are constantly putting yourself into this pressure. You don't give yourself even a single minute in order to wonder, what should I practice today? I don't know. I have an audition in 3 months, but because I don't have anything here reminding me constantly 24/7 every time I unlock my phone, because I don't have something like this, you start wondering, should I play some scales? Should I play some Bordogni, some etudes? No, guys, no. This is the way the 1% does it. This is the way I did it throughout my whole career. How do you think you get to play in big places like Berlin Philharmonic, or getting gigs with Concertgebouw Orchestra, or traveling the world thanks to the music? Not having pressure, being relaxed, being peaceful most of the time? Hell no, guys. Hell no. You have to put yourself always this level of pressure. And that's how the 1% I had the opportunity to work with and to receive lessons from acts. That's why they are the 1%, and the rest, they are 99, and they don't get shit. They are out in the first round. Who from these two guys do you want to be? From the 99 not getting a single beat of an orchestra position, going out every single audition they do for 10, 15, 20, 25 times in a row, 25 auditions all out in the first round? You want to be this kind of person? No, right? I'm 100% sure you don't want to be in that situation. You want to be the 1% that gets the job. You want to be the 1% that really wins the audition. So this is the way. This is one of the many ways I do it. This is one of the many ways my mentors did it, and this is one of the many ways I teach my people in order to get exactly the same results. It's really simple, guys. It's really simple. If you want to get amazing results, you just need to be closer to the people that you think is in the 1% and can teach you anything. That's why I have my community, Global Brass Collective. If you guys are wanting to improve sound, high register, you have an important audition, you have an important recital, wherever, that's the place you should be. And now, with a phone and internet connection, you can learn literally any skill ever, any skill for free on YouTube, guys. Of course, lessons with teachers is not for free. My time, I'm giving you these guys for free, but my time is not for free. Of course. Ask, for example, your parents. Most of you probably are students, but your parents are working for a salary, guys. They are working in order to get paid. That's how life works. So I'm not giving neither my time for free. I mean, that would be stupid. No one would take the advantage. So that's the place you should be in order to reach your destination. Listening to the people that you think they have big results, people that inspires you, and people that is in the position you want to be. It's as simple as that. This is what I did, guys. I didn't arrive in Berlin Philharmonic Academy just like this. Oh, by accident. Wow, suddenly. Oops, I was practicing in my practice room and suddenly I arrived in the orchestra in the Berlin Philharmonic Academy. Suddenly. I was practicing in my practice room and suddenly principal trombone of Helsinki Philharmonic. Suddenly, yeah? I didn't mean to do that. That doesn't work like that. That was by design. I choose the life by design, not by default. The feeling I have from most of you is that from most of the people that texts me and some students, they live their life by default, not really thinking about what they really want. At the end of the day, and I say it in every life, in every lesson with every student, everything, we are here to make our dreams come true. It would be a pity a full life goes on and we are not working in the job that we want to work, or in the orchestra that we want to work, or even being free. I'm working my ass off every day. That's why you guys see me at the Instagram people sees me every fucking day at 5 a.m. That's why I want to be free, and I did it. I'm playing in an orchestra because I want to play in an orchestra. I like it. But now I have a choice. If I decide not to play in an orchestra, I don't need to do that. With my online coaching, with my online lessons, with my online business, I'm getting more money than with the orchestra. With this, what I'm telling you, this was my goal. And this is the goal that I was working for these last 5 or 6 months. This is my goal, and I had to work for that. Whatever you guys' goals are, you have to really make a decision for yourself and really go 100% for it, because no one is gonna give you your dream, your dream position at your dream orchestra. No one is gonna give you that shit. No one. Or whatever I said, dream position at dream orchestra, but can be anything, teaching or whatever, man. Whatever, be traveling the world as an influencer, whatever, can be any type of dream. But this is what I'm here for, and this is what I share with my students every day. This is what I'm helping my students every day with. So if you are not, guys, following the tip, following the advice from someone that is in the position you want to be, I strongly suggest you invest in a mentor. I'm constantly doing it. If I tell you guys how much money I have invested in these last months, you wouldn't believe me. It's almost is more than 6,000 euros on mentors from September until March. Probably it's even more. Why? Because I'm constantly learning from people that is in the position I want to also be. And is it a coincidence I'm getting amazing results? No, not at all. The main problem I see, some of you guys, most of you guys, they don't want to put even $50 on you guys, which is, guys, you don't believe yourself enough. You don't believe in yourself enough, not even to put 50 stupid dollars in my basic community uh, in school. Which again, I'm not saying you have to invest in me 100%. You can invest, you have to invest in someone that really resonates with you, really inspires you, can be me, can be any other person. There is thousands right now, you know but that's how I did it. You guys think I never paid a lesson with a trombone teacher, or with someone else? Of course I did. Of course I did. And that's why I reached in the position I'm right now, because I was constantly surrounded by the best players I could ever be surrounded with. There's no other there is no other there is no other answer to this question. There is not a secret formula here, guys. That's the only way to succeed. That's the only way to go to your next level. Otherwise, you can be there for 10, 15, 20, 25 years. Nothing happens. Frustration is on top. You are not moving forward, and that's a really shitty feeling, like having the feeling you have lost 10, 15 years because you didn't put the money somewhere, and you didn't invest in someone that can help you to go to your next level. That must be crazy. Because, guys, my worst nightmare, if I'm completely honest with you, my worst nightmare, I'm 27 years old, okay? I consider myself quite old right now in comparison with the group of entrepreneurs that I'm sharing my time, sharing my thoughts, and learning from. Guys, I'm 27 years old. I'm afraid of, in 10 years, seeing myself with 37 years old, and the Victor of today, the Victor of 27, didn't do anything in order to reach my ideal goal, my ideal um, image of who I want to become. Imagine 10 years go like this. You didn't do anything to achieve your dreams. You were just like this in autopilot, drinking in the weekends, following the ships, basically doing what the society is doing, which is losing time, drinking alcohol, smoking, and losing your completely your life. This is my worst nightmare, guys. Honestly, seeing myself in 10 years and not being in the position I want to be because I didn't do shit. Been thinking about it, man. It gives me a really bad feeling, but that's something. This is something that really I that's why I wake up every single day. Every single day in order to make my dreams come true, to help my people, to really be in another position, in another different position, in a higher position. I am, so that's why I'm doing all this daily process, and I really don't want to throw away my life thinking I could have done something but I didn't do. I think about it and it's so crazy. It's so crazy, but this thing really piss me off. This thing, that's why I'm constantly every day grinding. I don't know if it's the same for you guys. I don't know most of you, I recognize only a few names, but this is what we came for, to this world, to make our dreams come true, to make everything happening. I'm gonna start answering some questions right now, but first of all, if you still trying to make the decision, should I go with this guy? Should I invest in this mentor? I strongly suggest you 100%. And again, I'm not saying that you have to go with me if you don't resonate with me, but do it with someone, because you are gonna arrive faster to your destination. Basically, it's as simple as that. And the only reason I'm here is because, the only reason I did the Karajan Academy, the Academy of the Berlin Philharmonic, the best orchestra in the world, is because I had the best teacher I could possibly have, Jürgen van Ryan. Because of him, and also my work, but was mainly his guidance. That's extremely important, guys, to be surrounded by people that really brings you to the next level. I'm gonna answer some questions here on Instagram and also on YouTube. The questions on YouTube, they were popping up first. So, can you recommend some bass trombone songs for high school students? I don't play the bass trombone, but I think you can type in now with AI. Is extremely simple. You just put Gemini, you just write best bass trombone songs for high school students, and it should be showing you a list of many pieces. Hola Víctor, ¿qué hiciste a partir de estudiar mucho para entrar en la Karajan? Hello Victor, what did you do apart from studying a lot in order to enter in the Karajan Academy of the Berlin Philharmonic? Simple. I sacrificed time with friends. I sacrificed time with family. I sacrificed days of going out. I sacrificed a lot of things, because Miguel, you have to understand, the students that they go to those auditions, like the best academies in the best orchestras, they are people that, not all of them, but a big amount, they are freaks practicing. They are freaks. They go with everything. It's one of the hardest academies, the hardest positions in order to be there. And I was not, if I'm honest with you, I was not the best musician by far there. Not the best musician, not at all. But what I can tell you, Miguel, I was the person putting more hours in the game. I was the person sacrificing more. Even for the Karajan Academy, I that was in September, 22nd of September. In June was the first one. I arrived to the final. They didn't take anyone, so I repeated. I wrote it down. I was the only one there. I mean, if you want to get a position like Karajan Academy or a big orchestra, you have to realize, Miguel, that you have to do stuff 99% of the people is not gonna do, like sacrificing a full summer. What I did. I only went 1 week to Spain from 2 months and a half, 3 months of summer. Only 1 week, and I was at the audition, and I asked for the feedback. Let me show you guys. I even have it here. I asked for the feedback to the players, and while everyone was with their hands here in the back and listening, yes, 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 saying yes, 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 thank you for your feedback, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was like, Olaf, sorry, I'm listening to you. I will. Olaf is the principal of the Berlin Field. I will just write down what you are telling me. Blah, 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 blah. The same with Jesper, the second trombone, and the same with Thomas Leyendeca, the Bexel. I was writing down absolutely everything. I mean, you can check it out. It's just here. But guys, I was the only one writing everything down. The only one. The rest was like, yes, 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 yes. They forgot. After 5 minutes, they forgot most of it. And after taking the beer after audition, of course, mandatory beer after audition, they completely forgot everything they told. So that was one of the main moments I realized, okay, I'm studying in Amsterdam with Jorgen van Ryan. The style is really French, so it's not really ta 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 everything really German style. So they play different here, and I wrote it down. I knew exactly what I had to play and how I had to play it. So that's why every time I went to Amsterdam, I was in my room with this, all the feedback in the stand and the solos. That was in my room every day for 2 months, from Monday to Monday. So Miguel, while the rest of the people, and I was checking sometimes every half an hour, every hour, I was checking the stories on Instagram just to get distracted. So many hours in a room. What else are you gonna do after 1 hour of practicing? Practice more. You get crazy. I was 8 hours there, but really taking my breaks, and maybe it was, yes, 6 7 8 hours of practicing, but with breaks from literally my schedule when I was there in Amsterdam practicing 2 months and a half the audition for the Karajan Academy was waking up at 7 a.m., go with my brother at 7:30 8 a.m. to play tennis in the tennis court close to our house in Amsterdam. Then he went to work like at 8:30 or 9 a.m. I went to practice, and at 8 p.m. he was out of work. So we had dinner, sleep, repeat. That was my schedule for 2 months and a half. And I was every day with this piece of paper with the feedback, and also with the orchestral excerpts and the David Concertino. And every once in a while I was checking stories. Okay, let's see who are do what the rest of the people at the audition are doing. I'm starting checking. I see one parties in his village. Okay, with drinking and party. Woo, everything really cool. Okay. The other one, uh, holidays in Rome with a girlfriend for a week, for 2 weeks. Okay. These guys, I realized these guys they are not practicing much, to be honest. So that was my moment, Miguel. Answering to your question, that was my moment in order to do more than the rest. At the end, it's really simple. If you want different results than the rest, you have to take more action than the rest. If you want the same, go on holidays. Don't sacrifice the summer. It's hard sacrificing the summer, especially when you are young. There is a lot of parties, a lot of people that you want to see back home, whatever. I I had my girlfriend in Spain, my friends. I could go party, I could be in the beach, whatever. But I decided to be in Amsterdam, practicing. More than studying, more than practicing every day, I would say sacrificing the time that the rest of the people is doing something else for you to be 100% focused. That was the thing probably that got me that academy, 100%. Because the rest was just chilling, losing time. I was focused as hell. So that's it, Miguel. Another question. Do you consider that you have talent? I don't believe in the word talent, guys. In the word talent. Talent is something that many people told me around in my career when I was growing up, but I think talent is called hard work. Talent is what Mozart has with 4 or 5 years, 6 years old, playing piano like crazy. That's for me talent. For me, what I have is not talent. It's just hours in a practice room. So, and in fact, so many hours in the practice room. Sometimes more than what actually your brain or your body can handle. What's the best exercise warm up intonation for wind instruments player in general? Thanks, best Samuel. Samuel, I cannot. There are thousands of routines on YouTube, thousands of routines everywhere. You know, I cannot recommend you just one. Um, but I would say for warm up there is my principal trombone warm up. This is a really nice one. I strongly suggest you, all of you guys, even if you don't play trombone, if you play trumpet, there are so many exercises that you can do. It's really complete. I would say breathing, free bassing, singing, mouthpiece with the piano, and then also flexibility, more flexibility than any other stuff, I would say. Tyler, favorite orchestras. For me, my favorite orchestra, Berlin Philharmonic, hands down, hands down. I listen to many of the orchestras of the top 10, but Berlin Philharmonic, I mean, is insane. That's why they are the number one already from many years, because there is not a single section it goes that doesn't work. All the sections are really good, and maybe for some people they are not the most musical, the people that does the more music and really and singing and super exaggerated, but they are the ones that play everything in the right way. Let's say they play everything correct. There is not gonna be a note out of tune. There is not gonna be a note out of rhythm. There is not gonna be something like that. Maybe in character they have a really strong character with some pieces, but they are never gonna play anything out of rhythm with a bad sound or with a bad tuning or something like that. They're not gonna do that. Maybe musically, there are orchestras that they can sing more or they can ring more with the people, But for me, Berlin Philharmonic, simple. It's simple, and that's why they are in the position that they are, because they play everything right. Again, maybe not the most musical, but when the rest of the stuff is right, I think musicality is not as important, honestly, because I know many musical orchestras. For example, my orchestra can be really musical sometimes, but we cannot keep the rhythm at some point, and this is something missing. So it depends. It's all interpretation. That's my opinion. Okay, let's check here in on Instagram. Very lucky to meet you, Victor. You are an inspiration. Thank you very much, Luis. The same, exactly the same. I really like social media. You can connect with so amazing people, and you can get inspiration from everyone. But there are really people that I don't know face to face personally that I like even more than people that I know face to face. This kind of feeling, talking with these people, motivated, always with big dreams, big inspiration, that the only thing that we do is combining energies to create something more big and more positive, and that's amazing to in social media. This is the best way to meet people with your same interests and your same energy. So definitely recommend I definitely recommend to use social media like his term is social media. Social is something social, something that you talk with people, you share thoughts, insights, you talk. Most of the people use social media for in the wrong way, in order to get distracted, in order to lose time, in order to throw away years of his life just scrolling. But I really like to use it in a social way. Even when I'm having a new friend in Facebook, every time I greet, I say hello, I always share value, positive vibes around. That's the most important. Hello, greetings from Hong Kong. I have a question. If I get sick before a performance, what should I do? Um, Tinam, if you get sick, what else can you do? I mean, uh, most of the times it's something really mental. If you think that you're gonna get sick, you are gonna get sick. You know what I mean? Getting sick It's something extremely it's the mind can really bring you in a bad situation. That's why it's important to uh, self develop yourself. That's why it's important to really learning how to control your mind in order to be your best friend, not your worst enemy. Most of the people that I'm coaching, that they come to me because every time they're on stage, some of them they start trembling because they feel really nervous. And that's not the problem of the music or the instrument or whatever. That's the problem of this. If you control this, tinam, I'm not sick for already a really long time, and it's because I have great habits. I eat healthy food. I don't drink alcohol. I try to feed myself also with positive thinking. Not I don't watch the news, which I think is extremely negative, and is only bad stuff going on. Think about the news, guys. The news is only bad things happening. You're not gonna hear anything good probably from the news. And the same as we are feeding ourselves with food, healthy food or whatever, or bad food, which affects how we feel in our body and in our whole system, the same with what we listen every day. Like going in the metro, someone complaining, that's also feeding yourself. Even though it's not a friend of you, even not is your own conversation, even the energies are really important, and keep your energy in a top shape most of the day. That's amazing. Avoiding negative thoughts. There are so many books about it. There is a book that changed completely my life, Tingnam. It's called Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. That thing, before that I was a huge alcoholic, guys. I used drugs, I was partying, I was completely lost in life. After reading that book, I finally found myself, and I finally um, changed my completely my life. Now I don't drink alcohol, I don't take drugs, I don't have negative thoughts same way as before. I wake up every day at 5 a.m. I'm happy, and I want to live. I have this feeling of a lot of energy, and starting the day really on my prime. This is something for many years I was not having. And I know many of you and many people is really stuck in that negative circle, which can be really easy cured by all of this positive thinking, like reading positive stuff, being in a circle with positive people. That's extremely important. I was extremely depressed for a long time because my circle, my closest circle, was extremely depressed, taking drugs constantly, getting drunk always. That's why I was also depressed. If you meet yourself, if you meet with depressed people, guess what? You're gonna be one of them. If you meet with happy people and positive people always, you're gonna be one of them. It's simple. It's more, I would say, Tinam is more your environment than actually, and your habits, than actually getting a flu or whatever. It's more something this to be sick, because if you feel bad here, you can actually translate it to your whole body. If you think, that's how powerful is your mind. There is another book I'm recommend you. It's called uh, if you believe it, you create it. If you believe your left arm is on pain, starting to hurt, if you really strongly believe it here, it's gonna start. Uh, this is gonna be painful. Trust me. That's how powerful is your mind, guys. And this is something is not even uh, taught in the universities or high schools or whatever. Uh, that's how um, not awake the system wants us. I mean, it's all extremely well organized in order for you to constantly listen to negative thoughts, and be depressed, and being in need of using drugs, alcohol, in order to feel good. That's how the system is managing us completely. Either you believe it, you want to believe it or not. I feel more awake than ever, and this is actually this is actually what I think. Andre Pablos, what do you do when you are played too much and your embouchure is completely worn out, but you have to play again the next day? Okay, I was showing it to a student before. I don't have my instrument here, but basically what I do is I take a Bordogni etude, for example, this etude, I don't know if it's the number 4 or whatever, and you take it an octave lower and you try to play it as smooth and glissando as you can, not because this creates tension here in your arm, tension here in your neck, and then you end up playing like this, collapsing the whole thing. Just try to play a Bordogni as relaxed as you can in an octave lower. 1, 2, 3. Trust me, the day after you're gonna feel so amazing. That's actually what is this? I don't know what happened this month. That's what I use normally in order to make this to be relaxed basically. Next question. Let me see. ¿Qué ejercicio me recomendarías para mejorar mi registro agudo con la tuba? Which exercise you recommend me in order to improve the high register with the tuba? It's I think it can be applied to any instrument basically, but I strongly suggest you to really do 1% more every single day. Start with the basic in the first position of the tuba, and then little by little you add an extra note, an extra harmonic, and then the next one, there will be a point that you are gonna be able to so easy, so easy. With a bit, I don't have my trombone here. I could go take it, but it is a matter of 1% better every day. You have to expand your limits. Let's say, Javi, your limits of in the tuba, in the high register, low register, fast tempo, slow tempo, loud dynamic, soft dynamic, whatever, articulation, whatever. This is your limits. If you don't expand your limit today, the limit is gonna be the same. So you have this in an orchestra, in as a soloist, in your next recital, in your next competition, whatever. They are looking for someone that has these kind of limits. So this is the highest they can play, the lowest they can play, the fastest they can play, the slowest they can play, the loudest, the softest. Look at the difference. You see, it's really clear. So I would say 1% better every day in order to keep expanding and expanding and expanding and expanding. There will be a moment you arrive in a couple of months, in a couple of years, you arrive like this. But again, you are here. If you don't expand your limits today, tomorrow are the same limits. Next question: how to get rid of the low notes? How to get rid of the low notes? I don't understand the. I don't understand the question. If you could explain me better. Okay, here in YouTube, I have many questions. What are your thoughts about the musical interpretation? Musical interpretation. You know what guys? This is a question from Emanuele. Emanuele, you know what it worked for you? For what it worked for me? I think this worked in the best way ever. Every time I grab my horn, I try to sound as close as possible to my trombone hero, Jürgen van Ryen. Even when I was a student, in this way. I don't know if I said this to students for sure, but even when I was listening to his versions, I don't know if you guys know this version of Jürgen van Rijn Roparts. That's one of the most amazing recordings ever. It's this one. This is incredible. I know every single second of this recording. I studied every single second of this recording with the score in front and literally pressing pause every 2 seconds. Okay, enough. Bit of a fade out. A bit of a fade out also. I tried to copy this, like really, really copy paste. That was something that really helped me, and like this, the same, the rest of the piece. All this direction he uses on the vibrato. I tried to copy as much as I could everything, and this is actually something is not bad to do, because I learned how to play a great trombone by imitating my heroes. That was imitation, and this is something I'm not only sharing this. Great trombone players, like great, like Joe Alessi, also Esteban Batayanas, the trumpet player, they learned from imitation. That's not something bad, Emanuele, because because if you are trying to copy my way of playing 100% in the way that I do it, there is two things that are gonna happen. One, you are gonna get close to how I play, the level of what I play, and second, you are never gonna be able to play like me. Because Emanuele, with that name, you're probably from Italy, right? You're from Italy. I'm from Spain. I'm 27. I don't know how old are you. You're probably 20 or something. Whatever age. So you have gone to a different high school than me. You have eaten different food than me when I was growing up. You have been in different places than me. You have different um, ideas than me. So everything is different. So at the end, doesn't matter how much you try to copy Jorgen van Ryan or Joe Alessi, you are never gonna sound like him. Never. Never gonna sound 100% like that. So I don't think it's a bad idea, especially when you are starting learning an instrument. I don't think it's a really bad idea um, to basically imitate, literally copy paste whatever the great players are doing. I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I did it myself. So, and most of the great players told me they did it themselves also. How do you judge orchestra being good? How do you judge an orchestra being good? It's extremely simple, man. Can they play on rhythm? Can they play on tune? Do they have all the sections a nice sound? It's only three things, guys. It's only three things, but most of the orchestras they don't even got these three things. And most of well-known orchestras, like famous orchestras, they don't have these three things really perfectly. Only few orchestras from the top 10 or top 20 in the world have these three things really good. I would say to a degree, not even my orchestra has these three things perfectly, not even. And then there are the orchestras from the 20 top 20 in the world, top 10 in the world, that they have this plus their own character and plus a bit of musicality. That's how I judge an orchestra. Can they play on tune? Can they play on rhythm? Do they have a good sound? A good hearable sound? That's how I judge them. In the same way, that's how I judge uh, in an audition or in a competition that they have to be jury, or as an entrance exam of the conservatory, how I judge the students, how I judge the people that wants to apply. We had a audition open for principal trumpet. 70 people sent the video. My three main criteria were: can this guy play in tempo? Most of the time, not all of them can play in tempo. Not all of them can play an excerpt on tempo. So with only the first one, you are taking out probably from 70 people, you're taking out 55. 55 that cannot play on tempo. Do they have the ones that can play on tempo? 15. Do they have a great sound? Most of them not. So probably from 15 have a great sound, 6, something like that. And can they play on tune with the piano or the excerpt or whatever? Not all of them. Not all of them. So probably from these 70, you take probably 2 or 3, and this is what we did. We take 3. We took a 2 to invite here to play with us. So it's crazy how I'm saying this, but it's actually what it is. And I will reply the last question because now I have a lesson with a student. What can you do about nervousness before a class, lesson, or audition? Nervousness comes in the moment that you are not confident. When you are not confident, basically, if you are nervous, it's because two things: either you are not confident enough of the work that or the practice that you have put into that piece, or second of all, you are not confident in yourself, which is something is one of the worst things of society. Most of the people doesn't believe in themselves. Most of the people, they wouldn't be able to talk here for 20 people on Instagram and 10 people in YouTube, 30 people in total. uh, and that's because they are not confident enough on themselves. How do you gain your confidence back? Because audition is all about confidence. It's not about being the best player, not at all. Most of the times, the best players, the more musicals, the best sounds, the whatever, and go out in the first round. As simple as that. So how do you get your confidence back? There is a place called gym. There is a thing that you can do which is called exercise, that makes you feel good, makes you feel self-realized, and and over time, if you don't fail to your word, because most people say, I'm gonna wake up at 5 from now on, or I'm gonna go to the gym every day. What happens after 1 week? They don't show up again. They are too tired. They miss the day. They allow themselves to miss a day. What happens if you follow a routine like I do, music based on? What happens? That you don't tolerate missing a day. That you don't tolerate skipping a workout. That you don't tolerate be one more of the in society. Be from the 99% that goes out in the first round. What happens when you don't tolerate that? That you start taking action and you start gaining amazing confidence. And music based on, my friend, whatever your real name is, confidence is key in order to not only play trombone, not only go to a lesson, to an audition, just for your whole life and for achieving your dreams. That's why it's important to surround yourself with people that has a big confidence. If you're always nervous before an audition and you don't have confidence, probably your closest circle is not confident enough. So I either suggest you, or or don't see that people again, because it's directly affecting your energy, or start taking action like a crazy dude. Start really in the moment that you say to yourself, go I will go to the gym every day, not letting yourself even to miss a day. You want to music based on you want to be confident in your and not be nervous in your next audition, right? Do that thing. Don't fail to your word every week. That's what is going to give you the amazing confidence you need in order to succeed in your audition and also just in your life in general, you know. It's so important, all of this, guys. So guys, thank you very very much. That was amazing to reply all to your questions. Join my community. It's only $50 a month, guys. It's so fucking cheap in comparison with the great value I give you. Like, if you are preparing your next audition, your next recital, your next entrance exams for bachelor, whatever you want to improve sound, register. You even want to. Some people entered in the community that they are interested on waking up earlier, having better habits, better discipline, whatever. So it's only $50 a month. You have access to me. I give you my personal phone number. You can ask me anytime. And um, if I would be a student, I would be there 100%. Now, if really, if you don't want to win in life, it's because you really don't want to. If you if you're not succeeding right now in 2026 with all the opportunities that are online, all the valuable people that is online, is because you really don't want to, and you are full of um, constantly excuses, 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 excuses. So keep with your excuses. Let the people like me and like my students go into their next level, and keep excusing yourself, because the less you are a competent competition for us, the easier it's going to be for us to achieve our dreams. As simple as that. So wish you an amazing day, guys, and see you in